Yo, welcome to the One Life, One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Today, a friend of mine for almost I don't even know, man, almost 30 years. The Roc is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, Hoya Roc from Madball.
Yeah. What up, all you positive people out there?
How you doing, Hoya?
What up, kid? Nah, chilling over here. I'm over here. I'm listening to my two sons scream from the other room. They're playing video games.
Sick.
So just chilling. I said, let me touch base with you.
I saw you went to that monster truck thing yesterday. How was that?
Yeah, so I did we know a lot of white trash people, but yesterday was I really went headfirst into the white trash experience, and but I back it, dude. Yeah, it was dope. It was dope. I never did that shit before.
Yeah.
My boys wanted to do it, but
yeah.
It's dope. It's loud. People yell. You go there. You drink. It ain't too expensive.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
It's the things,
America.
the things you do for your kids, man. Things you might not ever done as a kid, but you do when you get older, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. If it's whatever they want to do, you do. That's it. You know what I mean? You hope it's legal.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, whatever. When I get to do shit that I never got to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing it. I use them as the excuse. So.
Yeah. So before we get moving forward, how we met, I want to take it back to a young Hoya. Hoya in high school and Hoya growing up in Queens. Did you like school? Did you graduate? Did you play sports?
I hate. Yeah, well, robbing people was a sport, and I hated school. So those are my. But I got my GED. I actually got thrown out of high school.
Really?
But it was mainly. I didn't like taking orders. It was more kind of on that thing, more of
Yeah.
What do you call it? An authority thing. From a young age, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was more on that than actual schoolwork, because they used to tell me, you ain't a dumb kid, but you don't listen. And I say, well, that's the part, you know what I mean? That's me.
Yeah.
But I made it up to would have been my senior year of high school, and I got thrown out. Got my GED right after that.
Wow.
And then, but yeah, back you know me kind of close to right around that time, it was definitely, I'm the same person, but I did crazier shit then.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's why it's weird. I tell people I didn't change, but I changed things that I've done.
Exactly.
And things that were important to me aren't as important to me. So that's the only difference.
So,
but,
when you get out of
I'm the same dude.
Yeah, you were. And so, how old were you when you started your first band, Demise? Like, how soon after getting kicked out of school, what was your next move music-wise?
Oh, yeah, no, I was already, I was 15 when we started the band. We were, basically, 16 years old. Basically, we were just, I never even wanted to be in a band. Basically, me and a couple of my boys were listening to Crucial Chaos.
Yeah.
And
why you,
right?
right?
Play some of the shit. Yeah. I'm Spermicide. You remember that?
Yeah.
And they would play some of the shittiest bands I've ever heard in my life. And I remember I was in front of my house, and I heard something, and I said, yo, if this shit could get on the radio, I bet we could throw something together, and we could get on the radio.
Wow.
Then my boy said, hey, my boy Jer was like, yo, let's do a band. We said, all right, bet. And that was it. It was never I wanted, I had a favorite bass player, or, I always wanted to be in a band. Nah, I love going to shows, but I mainly did it to say we could do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What was your
I was 15.
Yeah, and so were you into metal first, or did you get into punk rock and hardcore after you got out of school?
You know why? That shit was crazy. It's everything I wanted. I was into hip hop, but my older brother. I got an older brother, and my older brother was already into metal and extreme metal and hardcore already. So
yeah,
I would hear that shit in the background of my house always. But I wasn't, I wasn't feeling. I was straight hip hop, so I was about in 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 6th grade, I remember seeing a small article. I like maybe Iron Maiden, like a song or two, and I like the designs. But But I remember my brother had an article, and it was like a Playboy magazine, but it was called New Look, like a nudie magazine. But they had a little article on AF.
Oh shit!
And I remember he was amped. He was like, "Yo, you ain't gonna believe this, yo. AF got an article." And I'm saying, what's the big deal? I didn't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was just amped that they got any play.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I saw a picture of them, and it was Roger and Stigma behind like CB somewhere, and they were like just like sweaty. And I remember looking at them, and I said, "Yo, these niggas are like junkies. Like they look dirty."
Yeah.
But I remember thinking, "Yo, but they look hard. Like I remember it looked real to me. You know what I mean? Like they look like I was like, yo, there's no makeup. I never liked makeup. I never was into long hair.
Yeah.
So I was like, I like tattoos, and I saw these dudes. They look crazy, and it kind of was like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, it was just AF, Cro-Mags, New York hardcore mainly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It just happened like you don't even know when it happens because my brother was always there, so it was.
He brought you to your shows and stuff?
No, that motherfucker never took me. I would beg him, but he was like, "Yo, when you get older." So I actually had a friend of mine at the time take me to my first show when I was 15.
Oh shit!
It was Rest in Pieces at CB's.
Damn.
And then my brother was in the Army after that, so then I kind of went on my own. I would go with MQ and
yeah.
You know, and then everybody else.
So. And so when did Madball start? Like when did you join Madball? What year was that?
I started. I jumped in the band, and I want to say it had to be early '93.
Okay.
Around then, because we were already hanging out.
Yeah.
And you remember they were doing the Dropping Many Suckers
Yep.
things and all that stuff. But
yeah.
I remember Matty Henderson asked me. He said, "Yo, we have Madball got a weekend booked in like New Hampshire or something." He goes, "Yo, you want to fill in?" And I remember being like, I was kind of overplaying in a way. I was like, whatever. I was like, yo, we all hanging out anyway.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Freddie, all of us were hanging out. I said, fuck it. I'll learn these songs and do a weekend or two, and then we started with that, and then that shit snowballed. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And that was I joined in '93.
Yeah.
So we had that like Set It Off dropped early '94, but it was already recorded the end of '93.
Yeah.
So.
And how many years later is it now?
Yo, crazy. I don't know. I just know it was like maybe 25 years.
Wow,
like that.
Man. So
something like that,
dude,
crazy.
So when did you realize like this was music was your full-time thing? Like, was there a moment? Was it a show? Was it a tour? Like you like, holy shit, I'm doing music for a living. Like this is my life.
Yeah, like the last album. I say, oh shit, yo, we really doing this for a living.
Last album.
You know? Yeah, no, straight up. You know, it was crazy because like. We were doing it for a living, but not knowing it. We were just kind of just living day by day kind of shit. And
yeah.
I want to say when Freddie got locked up, I forgot what year.
Yeah.
When Freddie got out of jail, you know, the band broke up. It was a short amount of time, but we really did break up.
Yeah.
Not like bands now. They break up and they already got their reunion planned and all that shit.
Yeah.
When we broke up because it felt like, we were too wild, and then we also felt negative energy. It wasn't meant to be, we thought. You know what I mean? And then when Freddie came out of jail and he came back, with the right state of mind and, and then we talked and then we said, yo, we're going to do this. We got to do it, full blast and go for it. And then, I'd want to say, I don't know, right before when we got maybe 3 albums ago, I would say, we start like Infiltrate the System album.
Yep.
We were like, okay, this is going to be our, we're going to do this. We're doing this for a living and this is what we do.
Yeah.
Before that, we really didn't know. I would wonder like, oh, we're going to do another record? Like, I hope.
Yeah.
But, you never know,
Yeah, I think Hold It Down just came out when Freddie went to jail, and that was the tour. You guys started touring on that record
exactly.
out.
Because the record was recorded and it came out. He went to jail before it dropped.
No, man.
So it was like, yeah, it was fucking crazy.
It was
like,
so crazy.
The timing, and the timing was already like, I give it to Epitaph because, considering all the shit that had happened, they try to go for it. It wasn't, it had nothing to do with them. It was on our part, that everything fell apart.
Yeah.
But at that time too, hardcore was still small. It ain't as like it is now.
Yeah.
So it was, it was even harder.
Yeah.
For us, to make ends meet and fucking and competing with big metal bands and big budgets and all that bullshit.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier about like robbing and kind of wilding out when you were a kid. Were you super young, like hanging out, like going out? Could you say you're like 15 or something? Like when you started getting caught up in that street life kind of shit, like How did that happen for
Yeah,
you? Was just
that
hanging
shit
out?
that shit, in my neighborhood, that shit started early. Like,
Yeah.
it ain't even on like some gang shit. It was just kind of like, yo, you're in a neighborhood with a lot of people, and then there's bullies, and then there's prey. There's and you
Yeah.
could be either or, and I was both at one point. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I remember I had bought a leather goose when I was like 14 years old or some shit, and I was up the block from my old house, and we were doing graffiti, and a car pulled up, and these four guys came out. They were like 18, 19, and when you're 14, they're like, that's like a man.
Totally.
And one of them was strapped, and I remember.
Yo, Roc, that was a great story, and I just lost you. Shit, I gotta pause this shit.
I got cut off at. But,
Yo, so you're like a guy jumped out of the car with like and he was strapped, and then all of a sudden hung up. So what happened?
No,
Cliffhanger.
I saw that. It was like, basically, the guy jumped out.
Yeah.
And basically told me to run my jacket.
Damn.
And he pistol whipped me.
Are you serious?
They took my jacket. Oh yeah, they came out and he goes, "Yo, run your jacket." And I was like, "Nah, man, I'm not doing that." And then the other guy pistol whipped me.
Holy
and like, when I
shit.
kind of like got, kind of like, when you kind of like,
Black
it was
out
like,
a bit.
not to knock me out. I didn't get knocked out. It wasn't like that. It was more like a slap. Kind of,
Damn.
when I bent over, the other guy ripped my jacket off, and I remember I said, "Oh, you got it." And then I remember, like a week later, I got a gun.
Holy shit! How old were you? 15?
14, and I remember I said, that shit ain't happened to me no more. So, like, that's what I was saying. It wasn't on, like, some gang shit. It was more like, I'm not going to be a victim kind of shit.
Dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like, but then, I was one of those dudes. I just liked excitement.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like hardcore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The energy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's the right way because it's kind of more organized craziness. You could, if you use hardcore right, you won't go to jail and you can live happier. You know what I mean?
Were you like a partier back then too? Were you drinking and smoking back then at a young age?
Nah,
or no?
I drank. I drank 40s like every normal kid. Like, I'm in blaze. I'm never into drugs. I'm more, I blaze. I'm more into homeopathic or whatever the word is.
Organic. Yeah.
I'm more into GMO freeless, full greenage. But I was never, I barely drink now. I'm not I was never really a drinker. When I was young, I did, but like, it was never my thing. You know what I mean? It was like, I blaze now, and that's it. To me, it's more like my thing. I'm more of a mellow guy.
Yeah, you want to chill.
And I like being in control of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
No matter how much I blaze, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can control myself. When I'm drinking, I get too loose.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Unless
I'm with
a nice, really. Yeah, exactly. Unless I'm on like in the right spot with a nice lady and on a yacht or something, and then then I get lit. But again, there's never no yacht and no nice lady, so we good.
Were you playing? Were you into sports growing up at all? No.
No, you know what it is. We always were more we were the anti-jocks. You know what I mean? When you were back then, especially then.
Yeah.
There was no. If you were jocking into hardcore, you kept it on the low, and if you didn't, you were youth of today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, otherwise you weren't. It was kind of like, but we were always into like, the fight game a lot. My father was a boxer. My brother was a boxer.
Oh shit.
We always did like, there was always somebody doing some jujitsu or like on and off of, we trained on and off, but never a lot of just street sports, street football and baseball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, handball.
Never no school. A lot of handball, you know that.
Yes, total New York shit.
A lot of handball and all that shit, and but yeah, mainly getting in trouble and hanging on the LES. That was the main sport.
Were you ever scared of going to jail or anything, or just getting caught out there and shit, or?
You know what's crazy and the sick part is I think about that shit now is like back then I wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, I almost didn't give a fuck. I was more like, yo, if this is what happens, this is what happens. Yeah. I knew what I was doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how retarded I was to believe. I can't believe that I was thinking like that then, but You know, I didn't care.
You're fearless
You know
and
what I
shit.
mean?
Fearless, yeah, man.
Yeah, you don't know, but you know, I was also, you know, you're younger and you
Yeah.
know, different things in your life and whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, whatever, you know. You know me. I used to have at all times. I had something on me. I was always armed to the max.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I didn't give, you know, I just didn't give a fuck, and I was like, ain't nobody gonna ever catch me out there ever again.
Yeah.
You know, I made that a life, you know, thing.
Yeah.
You know, not while I have a choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I remember going to hip hop clubs. We used to always go to Sheets and Pillows. We used to roll so deep to those clubs with Bill Spector and so much fun nights, man.
Yeah, exactly. You know, even like those days, you know, there was always somebody had something on them.
Yeah.
And then we were literally going to hang out at a club, but it was like just in case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wasn't trying to go to jail then, but I remember I said I ain't trying to have something happen to me or one of my boys either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, but you know, again, you know, if you're gonna live that life, you gotta live that shit. You can't be, you know, Takashi shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, you know, that's why you know, I know what I am. I live dad life.
Dad life
I
now.
play bass. You know,
Thug life to
that's
dad
me.
life.
I'm Poppy life. That's it. You know, I tour. I love making music, and all I do is take care of my boys.
Yeah, you got a
that's
beautiful
all I
family.
got. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that takes a lot of time, and that's all I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How big was graffiti a part of your life? Like how important to you is that?
Ooh, everything. And I used to just write for fun because I was, you know, MQ was, you know, that's like my brother. You know, I know him, you know, longer than I know myself. Put it like that. You know what I mean? Like, it goes like that. So it's like, and when I met him, he had ink in his hands, and we were talking. He was telling me, "Yo, look, check this out," and showing me a wall he did. So that was when I was 6 years old.
Wow.
So you know what I mean? It was, you know what I mean? So it was like, and it was already started. That was paint. That, and we were, you know, it was graffiti, hip hop, hanging out on the street. You know what I mean? If you played handball, like you said, usually the handball court had graffiti on it. You know, you had chalk and you wrote your name on the wall and your girlfriend's name and, you know, or whatever, you know. So it's crazy. It was like you know, if you were in New York in general, you know, in the 80s, I think, you know, graffiti was a part of your life no matter what.
Part of the culture.
Yeah, you know, if you were downtown, uptown, rich, poor, like, it was around you. Yeah, you know, it was kind of the artwork, you know, the labels on the clothing, everything was like, you know, a piece. You know what I mean? You know, I think it was just a urban or big city thing, but
yeah, did you have like a name, like a tag name in high school and shit, or like a graffiti name?
Yeah, when I was little, I used to write J03. MQ gave me that tag when I was like 11 years old. Like,
J03. What does that mean? Do you know what that means?
No, because my name is Horthead, J-O-R-T-E.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
it says
shit.
J-O and 3 letters left over. I was hoping there was something cooler to it, but there wasn't.
I've seen I've seen old pictures of you. Old pictures of you, like b-boy stance in front of graffiti walls, like super old footage of you. I mean, photos.
Yeah, that's all. You know, and I'm always in front of one of MQ shit because he was the nigga bombing everything. You know what I mean? And I was always, you know, to us, you know, we root for him.
Yeah.
You know,
he was everywhere.
You know. Yeah, exactly. So
he
like
still
whenever
is.
I would see him, absolutely, he's the king. That's why when I see him, I feel like almost like that's me. I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, one for the team and shit.
He never stopped writing either. It's crazy, man. It's pretty
amazing.
amazing.
No, he's out there. He's doing his thing, and you know, he lives life how he wants to, and he's killing it. You know, I'm glad for him. Wherever you are, MQ, you know what's up.
Yeah. I got a couple good stories of us, but another one I'll never forget is the Up in Smoke tour with Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop. Me, you, I think Freddie.
Oh, you mean your
Rusty.
first time getting high?
Yeah.
You mean it was one of your first times getting high?
Dude, there was so much weed in this arena, dude. It was insane, man.
Listen, if you were within a mile of that place, you were high. You could not be high. What a great show. I got to say,
oh, my God, dude.
You know, I love hip hop. You know that. We love it, but
Yeah.
I was never a super fan of hip hop live because a lot of times when I would see a lot of my favorite bands live, they were whack, and I would get kind of bummed out. And that day, I got it. Everybody killed it. Everybody.
It was amazing.
You know,
man.
even like if I wasn't crazy about the group, I was like, God damn, you know, from
Dub C,
everybody.
Exhibit, Ice Cube, Snoop.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Eminem. Exactly. Exhibit. Snoop.
Yeah.
When they ended with the NWA shit, forget it. I remember that shit, you know.
But the weed was so thick in there, and like I felt so lightheaded. I felt so.
Of course you did. Yeah, I remember looking, and there was security guards right there. They couldn't do nothing. It was just everybody had a blunt. I remember everybody.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It really was like ridiculous.
That was like the beginning of like.
Up and smoke.
Yeah, I mean. Since Run DMC tour, I think that's probably the next biggest hip hop tour ever. I think we kicked off the arena vibe. Now everybody's touring arenas, but back then, you know.
Yeah. No, there was like only maybe there was that Hard Knock Life tour, maybe.
Oh, that's right.
That was it.
That's right.
Right, but that was probably it. This one was actually, I want to say, was probably bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because it seemed like it was at a bigger time. You know, hip hop. Eminem came in the game.
Did you like Eminem back then?
I was never crazy about him. You know, I gave it to them to being, you know, the top dude, you know, lyricist style. But I never liked him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just never liked him. You know, like, I like the ignorant shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's like your top shit? You think top hip hop?
You know, G-Rap, Rakim, you know, all the old shit, the Slick Ricks, you know.
Beat Nuts.
You know, but even later, the Ice Cubes. And I don't hate, you know, I don't like this mumble rap shit, but I don't hate on the new shit.
Yeah.
Because as you know, I give it to these new kids for going for it.
I agree.
And you know what and I hear them for. I don't like the kids that diss the old school dudes, but I give it to the new kids that diss the old school dudes that are hating on them. Because you know one thing, because when we were coming up, a lot of these old bands hated on us.
100%, 100%, dude.
And we would if anything, Madball were one of the first bands for that time to be like, yo, we're here to do it for, and we would shout out all the old bands. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
We're here for the old school bands.
Yeah.
And people were hating on us.
Dude, it's
and
so
we used to
true.
be like, yo, dude. Yeah, we used to be like, yo, we big you guys up. We shout you guys out, you know, uncontrollably. And then these people would hate on us. And then I would be like, you know what? And then people used to tell us, yo, you guys sound like a rap band. You guys are too rap core. And I'm like,
what?
No, there's hip hop elements.
Yeah.
But no, that shows how ignorant you are. You see graffiti and the way we talk, maybe.
Yeah.
And we are hip hop.
Yeah.
How about that? But guess what? You like any Madball shit, that's what it has in it. And any fucking New York hardcore band has that shit in it.
It does.
If it's Gorilla Biscuits or anybody.
Yeah.
They ask them. Somebody was listening to something on the block. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know that, I know that.
Yeah.
So these motherfuckers don't know, but they're telling me that. It was funny, you know, and I'm like, but I said, I don't have to like shit, but I got to try not to hate it or jump.
Yeah, my son listens to it. Yeah, he listens to it.
You know, that's what I try to do.
Yeah.
Because, but I always listen. I try to hear, you know, I listen, you know, I keep my ears open, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And having kids, too, like, it's around you, too. Like, they bring it home, they're playing the shit in the house, and, like,
yeah, and I was always like that with music. I always like being up on what's new.
Yeah, and finding your own shit too. You know, finding out about new groups.
Yeah,
and shit.
I just I see who's listening to what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like and then I like stumping young kids when I throw some new shit at them. They're like, "Yo, how you know that?" And I'm like, don't worry.
Yeah. I something about Madball. I talked with Henderson about it too, and Freddie this week is just. There's something different. As much I know you guys are inspired by Killing Time, Raw Deal, and like a lot of great hardcore bands you love and respect and admire and all that. But there's something about Madball, like the rhythm and the pocket and the groove, like you said, it's original because there was, you said, there was hardcore bands before you that had grooves and breakdowns and head nod shit. Yeah. But Madball has something completely, I don't know. It's just it's you can't copy it. It's just like there's only one Madball. I know people try, but like. Just the rhythm and the groove you guys had, the hip hop bounce, man, and it worked. It worked so well, you know, and you could feel the realness of it.
You know what kind of worked out for us? I was glad. Like early on, I didn't know how to. I had a lot of ideas, that would, but I didn't have the right tools to make it happen.
Yeah.
Now when I joined Madball, I got these couple of these songs, and then I got Matty Henderson, I got Willie,
Yeah.
I got Stigma, and they're like, yo, I like that, and they're gassing me, but not in a fake way, but they're like feeling what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and then they're able to play it even better, and then then I was able, it kind of, I think it was the right time, the right, it was two different. We wanted we liked the whole what do you call it, head bopping groove shit.
Yeah.
But we had, one of us associates it with Rakim, the other one associates it with James Brown.
Yeah.
But we like them both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So, but that mix, I think, is what made Madball kind of cool for the time. You know what I mean? Like, we always said if you're not moshing, we want you at least to be able to bounce your head to it. And if you're bouncing to your head to it, we good. We got you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when Madball came out too at that time, the scene was kind of had like a low. It was kind of like things were starting to change. Like the older bands stopped playing, and then and you guys came out. It's just like it was.
Yeah, that's why it was a rough time. That's what I was talking about. I was like, it was a good time for us because we kind of, we were just doing our thing. But it was a hard time for hardcore music.
Yeah.
And at that time, we got thrown out there to headline a lot of shit because it was former members of AF, even though we didn't have a record out yet, and there was no scene.
Yeah.
And then there was barely a scene. We were going out to it was rough sometimes, but you know how it is, nigga.
Yeah.
We like everything, We just got to go out there and play. You play, and it's good, and it's good. When it's bad, but you keep playing, and this is what we do.
100%.
It's all we know how to do.
Yeah. And how was it? You remember your first time going out of the country? Because you guys would play tri-state, and then what about your first time going to Europe with Madball? Was that like?
Yeah. No, my first trip anywhere with Madball outside the country was Buenos Aires.
Oh shit.
In '93.
Damn.
Yeah, we played. I had the Set It Off demo on cassette. I mean, the record on cassette, the promo tape.
Yeah.
And I remember we're like, yo, it's gonna come out next year. And we were like, and I was like, we went to Buenos Aires, and it was like people waiting for you at the hotel and shit.
Crazy,
I remember being
man.
like, whoa, this is how it is? And so you get a reality check. I was like, but it was
especially coming from Queens,
like
just a kid from Queens, man. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
man.
I'm like, I don't think that shit. Even going to Maine for the first time, or Vermont and somewhere, I'm like, wow, oh shit, fucking, how it is, same thing.
Yeah.
We grew up in these cities where it's just,
Yeah.
If the bus can't take us there, we ain't going.
Yeah.
Or the train can't take us, we don't go.
Yeah. Even like upstate New York, it seems so fucking far away from.
Hell yeah, that shit's country, nigga.
Yeah.
Those niggas are country. Upstate New York is country bumpkins, niggas. That's it. That's, how it is. Living in the city, there's people that won't leave Manhattan to go to Brooklyn for a show.
It's true.
Let alone leave you know what I mean? It's so weird.
The people never leave their town. They never take flights on airplanes. They never do. I mean, it's their choice,
they don't
but
do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. If we didn't have to play music, we probably wouldn't either.
It's true. Yeah.
We all go to shows. That's the good thing about hardcore. Like, hardcore is a scene where, unlike any other scene, kids travel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like metal doesn't do that. Hip hop doesn't do that. Like, hardcore, it's common. Like road trips, big road trips. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like,
kids piling in cars, driving like 8 hours to go see a band.
Hell yeah! You live all your early experiences.
Yeah.
Eating out of a bag. Together. Sleeping in the car. It's like. A lot of that shit is because going to a show. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, man, how much time and energy you put into something like this. And obviously, you guys have been so passionate and believing in yourself this whole time and how far you guys have gotten. It's 2019. You guys are biggest as you ever been. And it's like, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, thank God, thank God. I believe in God. However he looks, male, female, however people want to call it, okay, but I believe in God, and I believe that when you do something and you do that shit from your heart, it's going to pay off one way or another. It don't got to always be financially, but I could use financially. But, if you satisfy with your life, you won. You know what I mean?
Totally.
There's rich motherfuckers out there that aren't happy.
Miserable.
At all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And vice versa. You know what I mean? And then, then there's everything. And, you just got to just keep doing what you do, and making your own, stepping your own game up. That's all I want to do with this band, with Madball. It's like keep repping, the hardcore scene 100%, but step our game up musically. People used to think that we were just like a bunch of like fucking gorillas that hit sticks together, and I'm like, that's part true. We are gorillas, but we know how to write. But we could write a song, and it ain't just a mosh part. We could write a good song.
Yeah, you're great songs.
Lyrics that mean some shit and fucking and that's our shit. I want to show that. I want to put hardcore on the map, not just Madball, but like show niggas that hardcore music could write a good sounding song like anybody else could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's real music. It ain't a little kid music.
Yeah.
It's real music.
I feel like you guys have done that though, and continue to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, little by little, we that's the try again. We ain't little kids no more. Like I tell people, like, when we were younger, we're angry at at our parents and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And our bosses. All right, guess what? I got over that. I love my parents. You know what I mean? And but you know what? But we're angry at bigger things.
Yeah.
We're angry at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
We're angry at people out there controlling things, and
Yeah.
So you see, so it's like, that changes. So our music should change a little with it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I tell people we still angry, just in a different way.
Yeah, you can't make the same record over and over again either, and you have to try different things and push yourself. Exactly what.
Yeah, and that was the thing with us. People were like, "Oh, what could Madball do?" Exactly, because we're gorillas. What else could we do?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we did with this last album. We hit people with a left hook.
Yeah.
We said, like it or not, we're gonna hit them with some shit that they're gonna be like not expecting.
Yeah.
We want to keep it fresh and sexy.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's why I love the Hazen Street thing so much, you guys, because we started playing like such different, especially different songs. I mean, we do melody with H2O, but for Madball it was a whole different thing, and I love that whole experience with you guys and making that record and those tours. It's just, fuck, man.
Yeah, and I loved it. And that shit was great, and that was good for me. That band was good for me as a musician too, because I wouldn't, with that band, we did whatever we wanted. You remember how if we liked it, we did it.
Yeah.
But then even after that, I saw that, they, of course, there was some haters that hated on the project, but overall, people showed us mad love.
So much.
And I said to myself, I thought people would hate on us more, and I shouldn't be that afraid to try something new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I thought people would be harder on us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for doing that project. I'm like, we love it. So, we don't care, but I expected more of a backlash, which there wasn't.
There wasn't.
Then,
people love that shit, man. It's crazy now.
Of course, it was great, to this day. You know how that is. We go everywhere. People ask for it.
Yeah.
And I think, that also just one way, because I kept thinking like, people, I didn't want to let people's expectations down of how we represent this shit. That's what I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, we can't. Oh, that's too off. That's too different. That's too this. That's too that. And then I would, a band like Hazen Street was loose, and the band that I heard a lot was Wisdom in Chains. It was like I took a lot from them, not so much just musically, but I would hear their music and they got solos, they got vocal parts. They don't care, and it doesn't sound like it's not a hardcore band. Yeah, it sounds like a hardcore band. Nobody's there like, that sounds like a metal band or something. And I'm like, man, that shit's brave. Yeah. Like, they just. And it sounds they own it, and I go, man, I'm gonna do that shit. I'm gonna do that shit. Like I'm gonna just not give a fuck. If I like it, just go for it. Yeah,
we had some amazing times with Hazen Street, making those demos and those tours, and going to Japan and fucking the Warped Tour and like crazy tours and.
Yeah, it was a lot in one shot. Like it was like I remember, it was the Story of the Year tour first, and then it was like. Warped Tour, Japan, then it was fucking
POD,
Sum 41, Lacuna Coil, and POD, a lot of crazy shit.
All in like 1 year, it's crazy, man. Remember, I was talking to Freddie, like they flew us out to do that weird showcase in front of all those people sitting in chairs. Oh my God, man!
I know it was really a weird time.
It was.
I remember they flew us in the middle of War Tour to play. Well, we played 2 songs.
Yeah, man.
To do the showcase, played 2 songs, and then flew back the next day.
Dude, Harvey Leeds, Freddie mentioned how much Harvey Leeds loved us. He signed the Clash. He was like our dude there, man. He really loved us, man. It's like
He was amped. You know, at one point it seemed like, you know, we had epic rocking for a minute.
Yeah, dude. I think it was time.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened, man.
You know, it was a crazy time. You know, I was just, you know, hey. You know, I wish we could have done more with it, and who knows in the future. But yeah, it was. You know, I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we did it for sure.
Yeah. Do you remember that like nobody really wanted to get checks, so we were at John Reese's house in the backyard, and we were counting out cash for our record advance from Epic and cash.
Yeah, it was so crazy, this whole thing. I remember being like. I remember when we were like looking for management or some shit.
Yeah.
Me and Freddie are playing some show in Connecticut, a Madball show. We're pissing, and I remember there's like, you know, some show for like 100 kids or something, and they're like, okay, yo, the guy who manages Metallica or the guy from Guns N' Roses, he wants to.
That was him, John Reese.
I know. That's what I was saying. And we're like pissing in the shitty fucking club somewhere. We're like, we're like laughing. We're like, crazy.
Dude, that was such a crazy.
It was fun. I'm glad, I'm glad we got to do it together because, we had like good times.
Yeah, but those records are like
some shit.
So hey, were you with me when we met Madonna at CB's, or were you with me when we saw Madonna? We're outside the Ritz and she pulled up in like a black town car and went into some studio?
Yes. I go, I yelled or something, and she didn't want to look at us. And then I think you ran up to the car or something, but there was like a studio next to it. She like came out the studio.
Yeah.
And then she like, she just like
whatever,
like,
she could give a shit.
Out and she didn't give a fuck.
And so
I remember that. Yeah, crazy. I remember smoking a blunt, talking to some MTV girl who was like coked out of her head. And the dude from The Cure's hotel room, remember?
Really? What tour, Hazen Street?
You were with us, nigga.
Okay.
You remember? We went we went to that. It was that show. We saw Jay-Z.
Oh shit! Yeah.
You remember? And we went to a hotel party.
Okay.
And it was in that dude's room. The singer for Pictures of You, the Cure guy.
We were in Robert Smith's hotel room.
Don't you remember? So we were in his room, and he just stood in the corner like he was shook, but he was having a good time. He invited all of us. Nigga, it was you, me, Freddie, niggas from Cypress Hill. I was getting lit with some MTV people.
Wow,
I don't know, a bunch of people. Yeah. It was too funny.
That's
I'm surprised you don't remember that.
So you weren't with me at CB's when we met her, like at that Cypress Hill show at CB's the night before Lollapalooza, and we rolled up there and Madonna was there. You weren't there for that one?
No, I wasn't there for that one. She would always be around or pop up.
Yeah, Lower East Side, like hanging out. Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, she used to pop up a lot down there. So
Fred,
all the studios.
Yeah. Did you ever work at any record labels? Because I know I met Ezek selling CDs because I worked at Roadrunner. I met him at Second Coming Records. But you weren't working. Did you? You didn't work at record labels, right? Now.
Yeah, I never did none of those labels. Like a bunch of the fellas did. If somebody, even you, like they were working either Relativity, Earache, and
Roadrunner.
Exactly, the mail rooms. A lot of us, I never did.
Yeah.
But that time we were like, that's kind of like when a lot of those jobs were. When a lot of our friends were doing those jobs, the band was kind of going, and then we were like just kind of like just doing odd jobs and shit. Some odd jobs and.
What do you think the last job you had was?
The last job, legal job?
Yes.
The last legal job. Okay, I think I was like 20, maybe.
Damn.
19, 20. I worked for like 2 weeks. I worked at Baruch College signing people up for summer courses. And people would call up, and they'd be asking classes. I didn't want to fill out the papers. I'd be like, nah, that class is full. Nah, that class is full.
Holy shit.
Yo, there's a bunch of motherfuckers out there. Yo, right now they could have been like, working for NASA or some shit.
Oh my God, dude, that's fucking crazy, man. And that was the last thing. And this is, wow.
But
it's so crazy. And what about New York now? Like, none of us live in New York. Obviously, we represent New York till we die, and that's like the roots and that's history. But it's so different. Everybody's all spread across the country now. It's pretty amazing, man. And we're all dads and shit.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's like, obviously it's different. That the New York's different, but it's like but it doesn't change who the fucking people that were there are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like I hear you. Yeah, it ain't a show every week. Yeah, we also ain't 20 years old.
No.
We also don't got 4 tattoos. We also don't got, ain't single. We also ain't a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like, it's not that, but it's like when like somebody tried to tell me they're like a joke kind of, they're like, yeah, but you say New York hardcore, you live in Florida. I was like, that shit is more like, literally like, it's like codes that you live by, and it ain't no like just street shit. It's just the style of person you are. When a New York, somebody who grew up in New York hardcore scene, the kind of humor you could get away with. That what they know, what they don't know, what they should know. From the history and certain bands and the little important side stories and blah blah blah. It's you only know that, and it makes its own bonds. Like, Chicago had its bond. LA had a bond. New York has that thing that I tell people. I was like, it ain't. Yeah, it was the clubs back in the day, but it was that state of mind, and now that state of mind got spread throughout the country.
100%. Like, how many people on the fucking Yankees are from New York, even live in New York? You know what I mean? Probably.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? It's like, it's rep that shit. We were all there. We all lived there. We all, helped New York. We all gave to New York.
Yeah.
So it's like, so what? Now we're gonna desert it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, great to go visit though. They get those memories, and you're landing in JFK, whatever. You see the building. It's awesome, man. It's like,
hell yeah. It's like no, exactly. We go back, we still feel at home.
Yeah.
But it's relaxed.
It's definitely a different place, but it's like the memories are there, and fuck, it's so expensive there too. It's such a different place.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So it's like I'm glad the memories I have.
Yeah.
Like that. So.
Hoya, I know you train and stuff. Do you have any like rituals you do, like a daily? I know you you're a mad coffee head too, like Rusty. You have like rituals.
Oh yeah, you mean like for what in general?
Like a daily thing. Yeah, you have a cup of coffee every day. You have like a certain routine.
Yeah, well usually what I do every day is like so. I wake up mad early because I got to get my son ready for school.
Yeah.
So I get up, I drink my coffee. I go look at YouTube videos right away, and then I get my kid ready for school. I take him to school.
Yeah.
I drop him off every day about 8:00, wherever you are in the world, 8 a.m. New York time. Miami time.
Yeah.
I'm driving my son to school, but then I drop him off, and now that I'm home, I usually come home. I'll chill out a little bit, and I've been working a lot on a lot of music.
Yeah, you always grind on that.
Yeah. I don't hang out. I lock myself in the house, work on music until my son gets out of school. When he gets out of school, I do the daddy thing.
Yeah, it's amazing it's amazing how our lives are, how we can do that. How we're not saying we're lucky because we paid our dues, but your downtime, you're just chilling with your family all day. Like, you're working on music, then you go on tour, and that's like, it's amazing. You're your own boss, man. And you created that shit yourself. Like.
Absolutely. I tell everybody, the hard part is, we do leave at long periods at a time.
Yeah.
But when we're home the whole time. Like, our parents had to work.
100%.
And when they came home, they were tired. They just fed us, and then they needed to chill.
Word.
When we're home with our kids, they got all of our attention.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They may, when we leave, it kind of hurts a little bit more. But I think it comes back more when you could be like, I could take my son and say, you know what? I'm going to pull you out of school early and we're going to go to the movies. Or, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to pick you up and then we're going to, we could do all that cool shit that our parents couldn't do with us because, they were working.
Yeah, it's amazing,
regular,
man. Yeah. And that's just from playing. That's just from playing music. That's like That's just from playing hardcore music. It's fucking crazy, man.
That's what I mean. Oh, I know. Believe me, like it's a struggle.
Yeah, it is.
This type of music is a struggle,
Yeah.
but I tell myself all the time, I'm one of the luckiest guys in the world. My kids are healthy.
Yep.
I get to play music in
Yep.
in the best scene in the world.
Yep.
Coming to the best underground music scene in the world, and I'm like, hey, we could just keep doing what we're doing. Everybody in the scene. When I say hardcore, I mean not just New York, everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody, all the bands, new bands, got to keep repping, keep putting out good music, keep in people's faces, and we got to keep putting this fucking scene on the map.
100%.
That's what people got to do.
Do you consider yourself optimist or pessimist?
The one that means things are good. Yeah, the one where the 40 is more full than less, or the blind form.
Shit.
No, yeah, I definitely was never negative like that.
Yeah, you're like a realist.
Yeah, but exactly. But I'm a realist. I will break down the cons. I like seeing all my cards on the table, though,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But I like to laugh. So if I'm like to laugh, I want things to be smooth and on the up.
Yeah, you're always laughing, man. Always smiling for sure.
Yeah. So
That's amazing, man. I think we covered a lot of shit on here. I was gonna ask you one more thing. I was gonna ask you about. Oh yeah, Hoya. Did you ever in this whole entire time, musician, feel like quitting, or like thought maybe I should have had a plan B, or said fuck it, I'm just gonna do music?
Oh, absolutely. Every fucking time I gotta pay my phone bill or I gotta pay a school bill, I say, what the fuck am I doing? I should have had a fucking normal job like a civilized human being. But no. A lot of times, like, I love what I do.
Yeah.
But, again, I'm a single father.
Yeah.
So things are a little bit different.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit harder for me to travel. My family helps out with my son.
Yeah.
And stuff. But, it's a lot of juggling on how to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wish I could do music and not have to tour as much as we need to.
Yeah.
But I would like to always be able to tour, maybe just not as much as we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely,
It's a gift and a curse.
I always, and the only reasons I've ever thought about quitting was not because I lost my love for music, or it was mainly financial. Like, I got kids now, and I got to make sure they live good, or as good as I could do, Like, that's my number one priority is they got to be right. So, that's the only reason. But otherwise, hardcore stuck with me.
Yeah, man. How old are your kids now?
My baby is 7 and my oldest is 10.
Damn.
So it's like, I can't believe it. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It goes by so fast when you're a dad, man. It's like.
I know. I'm like, I feel like the other son. I feel like they should be my little brothers. I'm like, yo, I shouldn't be your dad. My oldest son, I think he's smarter than me for sure. His vocabulary is definitely better than mine.
Yeah. Do you feel like all like the ethics and whatever values from hardcore and punk rock, that you use that in your everyday life as a dad and shit? I'm sure. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My sons know.
Yeah.
It's daily. It's constantly a daily. It comes down to, it don't matter how you look. What do you do? If they're good with you, you good with them.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody mess with you. Don't let nobody try to take anything from you, and don't let nobody talk about your family. Mm-hmm. If they do that, you handle your business.
Yeah.
It's very black and white with me and my kids. Mm-hmm. And that's how I was raised, but also how the scene raised me. That's how we were raised. You got to be cool with everybody. You don't got to be excited. Oh, I back everything you believe in 1,000%. No. Mm-hmm. Humans aren't like that. That ain't reality. Yeah. But you got to be cool with everybody. If they're cool with you, got to be cool with them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's no gray area, no but, no.
Mm-hmm.
You go with me, I'm go with you.
Yeah.
There's own family members that murder each other. You know what I mean? So blood don't mean shit either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's your actions. If somebody, I tell my boys that all the time. You got to treat that. I got friends all over the world, and I also tell them this one. Hey, you're gonna meet some people that do bad things, but they're good people.
Mm-hmm.
Just because somebody does something bad doesn't mean they're a bad person. Because that's something that people got to distinguish in this world. Just because you do something bad doesn't make you a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't.
People fuck up. People make mistakes.
Exactly. It's called growing up.
Mm-hmm.
It's called growing up.
Yeah.
And that's part of it.
Yeah.
And I know personally because I've personally been that guy.
Yeah.
and, you know, and a lot of people I know, and I know real bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know guys that are really bad people, bad human beings, like fuck ups in human existence.
Yeah.
But then there's people that I know are like, no, he robs department stores, but the dude will give you his shirt off his back.
Yeah.
All right, so how do you treat that guy?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You treat for how he treats you.
Yeah.
You don't got to support or back it. You're not in the getaway car, but the guy shows you love, you show him love. That's how I treat my life, and I get love all over the world, and anybody who's in my circle knows they get love from me.
100%.
I mean?
Were your parents very supportive of you the whole time with music?
1,000,000,000%.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I think I am the way I am, because I got that, and I saw 99% of the people that come, usually in the hardcore scene or punk rock or any underground scene, come from broken homes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was one of the few people that didn't have that.
Yeah.
Everybody, 99% of our boys lived at my house.
Yeah.
They call my mother Mom.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Because my mother helped raise them.
Yeah.
Because my mother never judged somebody. The first thing she would say is, where are their parents?
Wow.
Because she knows it's the parents' response. Not like, oh, he went to jail, that kid's back because he did. He'd be like, so where's his parents? What do they do? What do they think? Oh, they weren't invited. You could trace the kid's lineage. You know, you could trace the root to his parents a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, or at least something. You know, and then my mom's always gave everybody a chance.
Yeah.
And then I learned the same. You know, hey, be cool, everybody. Show love, everybody. Guys would come to my house that, you know, tattoos on their faces. Before it was like now, you know.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Now it's normal, but back then it wasn't. They didn't come. They call them out weird, you know, guys with, you know, bones in their nose and dreadlocks and, you know, being vegan and vegetarian 20 years ago when people didn't know that was a common
thing.
So
foreign back
you know,
then, yeah.
Yeah, like you're vegan, but you got a tattoo on your face and dreadlock. People didn't know what to make of you back then.
Yeah.
But my mom didn't care. She was like, yo, he's a nice guy. Oh, he's so sweet. Oh, he seems like a good, you know.
You see the good in everybody. Yeah, it's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, which is it's the way a lot of people should look. Like, I judge people, too, off the top, but she's right away, like, kind of gets your story first. And then, you know, because she knows there's always more to somebody than the way they look, you know.
I love that, man. I love that. It's cool.
It's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, your parent. Yeah, that's amazing to have that foundation too, especially for what you do and the music you play and the way you live your life and shit. And your parents love that. I think I've seen your parents. They've been at shows before, right?
Yeah, you met them somewhere. You might have met my pops and stuff.
Yeah.
He would drop me off here and there. You know, I lucked out. I definitely lucked out. You know, like, you know, again, to this day, they back me. They're proud of me. They know, you know, nowadays now there's people in their countries that love the band, you know, like, you know, it's back then it wasn't like that. Now it's common, you know, all of South America and Nicaragua, they know H2O and Madball and AF. I never thought that 20 years ago. You kidding me?
No, man,
you know
it's fucking crazy.
And now they're like, now they know, and then they talk about these bands, and then my mom knows about it. They're like, whoa, you know, it's a small world, you know.
Yeah, do people like since you go to school and you drive your kid to school, like just the normal society parents, is it hard to explain to them what you do or what kind of music you play or even the name of your band?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you got to see me at PTA meetings.
I'd love
crazy.
to see that.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, you know, I dress up, but I look how I look. You know, I'm still a big dude with tattoos, and I'm the craziest looking dude in this area. But I go there for everybody's cool. You know, I people know I'm there for my son, and you know, and I do it for my son and all that. But it's definitely, you know, it's crazy to me. Even for me, I'm in my head. I'm thinking I get nervous because when I would be in a school, I would be getting in trouble. And I felt like I'm getting in trouble. And, like, you know, I don't know how to act in those situations.
Like just being in a school, it's a weird flashback and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember even sitting with the teacher. Like, you know, I just had one of those, you know, you come meet the teacher day kind of thing.
Yeah, parent-teacher conference. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm, like, fucking shook. And I'm like, why am I shook for? I was like, yo, what the, you know, what the hell?
I'm the dad. I'm not the student. Yeah.
I know, and then I'm like, damn, and she's like, yo, relax, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, it's just.
But it's hard to explain, try to tell people, what you play and what you do, what's hardcore music, or it just.
Well, you know what it is, my sons, they know a little bit, you know, they kind of get it because constantly around, but it's like, like their friends are just starting now to kind of be like, yo, what do what's your pop doing? He plays in a band, but it doesn't get further than that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I think maybe later on maybe it might be more of a thing. For my sons, for them it's nothing. Like they're around it so much.
I
to
know.
them it's like no big deal. You know how it is. They're like, okay, whatever.
I feel like for the first couple years of Max's life, he thought that everybody were born with tattoos because he was surrounded by it all the time. It's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, you just it becomes the backdrop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and but yeah, like it's crazy. Like, I just tell people, I'm a musician. I leave it really vague.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm out of town a lot. I'm working on I try to leave. I'm in the, I'm in the music business. I try not, sometimes people already have these crazy ideas in their head of
about you already.
What a musician is.
Yeah.
Thinking you're some weird drug addict, partying and shit. And I'm like, I'm the lamest dude out there, dude. I sit home and I fucking watch MMA fights and fucking listen to my son scream.
Are you vaping now? Are you not doing blunts anymore, or you still do the same thing?
Oh no, I vape.
Yeah.
I do that. I'm definitely saving the lungs. I'm pro, but
yeah.
Yeah, I need that's my recreational.
Yeah.
I definitely, that's my oh, forget it. When I write, that's my go-to. That's like my cup of coffee. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's a must.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I do. Like I said, I'll do my like a coffee. I'll blaze a little here, and then I'll drink some coffee, chill out, do my thing, do whatever I gotta do.
Yeah.
And like that, But I in general, I don't even hang out much. I lay low. I'm home a lot.
Yeah, you're homebody. Yeah.
And
I like that.
Yeah,
Me too.
It's like that. And
you spend your life on tour and playing shows and clubs every night. When you get home, you just want to be chill and like decompress and be with your family and chill.
I tell everybody that. I go, I'm a caveman. I live in a cave, and I like it like that.
Yeah.
That, when we go on tour, we get to, touch concrete and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I'm good, away from the animals, from the savages.
Well, thank you for your time, and also want to thank you. Like when I first came to New York, and I met all you guys. I was just some kid from like Southern Maryland. You guys took me under your wing, and you guys always looked out for me, man. I appreciate that. I was never like a tough guy, but I hung out with you guys, and you guys protected me, and it was awesome.
You know what's up, man. From too long to even put a date on it. And you're my favorite. You're one of my favorite straight edge guys.
Thank you, bud.
You know what? You probably are. Let me see. You might actually be one of my first official straight edge friends.
Wow. Oh shit.
Like I knew guys. I knew straight edge people. But you were hanging with us.
Yeah, man. You guys. I was the only one straight hanging out. It's crazy.
That's
man.
what I mean. But yeah.
And I'm proud.
Like this. I wish we had this was video so I could show people your hairline when I knew you from the hairline scale that I do. But everybody, you gotta wait for the YouTube version of this, and I'm gonna show everybody the timeline of when I met Toby. It's on his head.
You can see the year you met me, and then the year now where it is my hairline.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, but you know what's up? One love, nigga. You know what's up? I love you. Happy birthday, Moon.
Thank you. I'll let her know,
birthday.
Man. Thank you, Hoya, for your time. Love you, bro.
I love you. One love to everybody out there. Yo, look out, ConcertOfRock.com. Be about it, baby. One love.
Peace, Hoya. Hey, guys. Thanks for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet to this podcast, please do that. And whatever platform you are listening to this on, I'm glad you found me. You can rate me and review me on there also. So thank you guys sincerely for the support. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the next one.